Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic, the Middlegame positions explained. We are at the 15th position of our topic. Through this lesson we are trying to see how to attack near the enemy king, and we are trying to solve positions by using the methods of calculation. So either we will have one long variation or many short variations to deal with. So this is the position with white to play and win. Of course, white is far more active than black. We see the bishop on d3 eyeing the g6 square. Queen also attacks on g6. So the main point of attack is g6, and we see the defenders are the f7 and the h7 pawns. The b2 bishop has some potential. It's eyeing on the diagonal where the black king is placed. So the e pawn has to just move and the bishop will become very dangerous. Let's look at the candidate moves quickly. There is rook h7, destroying the h7 pawn and forcing the king away. Second similar alternative is rook f7, and third is bishop g6. Of course, bishop g6 allows fg6. The two other moves are more forced and more dangerous as well. There is rook f7. The point of rook f7, even if it would have worked, we would say that rook f7 allows two options, rook f7 and king f7. So in that sense, we should consider the move rook h7 first and then only go into rook f7. Firstly, I must point out that after rook f7, king f7, rook h7 check, king e8, the king can hide to d8. Although we can say the position is still good for white. After qg6 check, kd8, white can play the move bishop f5. But there are some problems related to the background here, and we won't say that the position is totally winning for white. So white goes in for the move rook h7. Let's calculate first and we will try to imagine the position in our mind. Rook h7 check, king h7 almost forced. If the king goes to g8, we can just take rook f7 as well, and after rook f7 go qg6 check, getting a winning position on the spot. If we calculate little further, we will see that knight can interpose to g7 after qg6. When the bishop, queen and the rook, they create a very strong source of attack. Just rook h8, king takes h8 and queen h7 mates. Let's play the moves and see. After rook h7, if kg8, then rook takes f7, rook takes f7, queen g6 check, and now after knight g7, rook h8, king h8 and qh7 mates. After the rook g7, white can just take on g7 with his rook, and when the knight takes, we have the very strong e6. Pawn attacks the queen and bishop unleashes its attack on g7. So we will have two threats there, one qg7 mate and other e into d7. So after qe6, qg7 mates. From this calculation, we can already start sensing that the move rook h7 might be a strong move and it can lead us to win. So let's go into the main line now. Rook h7, king h7, again rook f7 check, destroying the last defender of the g6 pawn. Rook takes f7, qg6 check, forcing the king to h8, and queen can take the rook on f7. At this point after queen f7, many would say that still we are a rook down. Well, we are a rook down, but we have bagged 3 pawns for the rook already, and the black king is very badly placed in the corner, and we are also threatening queen h7 check. At this point, I must tell you, Mikhail Tal once said that whenever he would sacrifice his rook and get 2 pawns for the rook, and there would be possibility of perpetual check, he would always consider those lines where he is giving the rook. So rook for 2 pawns or 3 pawns is a situation where we should not ignore if we are sensing attacking possibilities. So after qf7 we see black is almost paralyzed here. The bishop can't go to f8 because the queen will be taken, and the h7 square is very hard to defend. In fact, black has just 2 options. One, knight g5, knight attacks the queen and knight controls h7, and second is the move knight f8 when the knight is trying to control the h7 square. Once we have that position in our mind, we see that queen on f7, knight on g5 or f8, pawn on e5, bd3 and bp2. We can spot the move e6 check, only move d4 blocking the bishop's attack, and after e into d7 we are winning when after knight f7 dc8 queens, or else if white wants to keep the queens on, then he can first go queen h5 check, kg7 and then take e into d7. Again white is winning. Let's play the moves and see now. Rook h7 check, king h7, rook takes f7, rook f7, qg6 check, king h8 and queen takes f7. Of course, we can now see that white has very strong attack and he is winning. So knight g5, e6 check, forcing d4, and here as I said, either queen h5 check, kg7, ed7, or e into d7, knight f7, d into c8, queen, and white wins. Many would go for this queen trade here. White is simply winning without any chances for black. And after the only other move, nf8 also, nothing much changes. We still have e6, d4, ed7. Situation is even worse because if knight takes d7, then qh7 mates, and the pawn on 7th rank is going to cause more trouble now. Pawn attacks the rook, queen attacks the bishop, and white is totally winning. So we saw that all the gathering of pieces over the opponent's king can give us a strong combination. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.